Good afternoon, and I welcome you students for another amazing class, another amazing session. Before I begin the class, there will be some warm-up exercise and some breathing. Sit comfortably on the chair. Are you comfortable?
Yes, sir.
All right. What we will do, students, there is some stiffness in the body. As you will experience some stiffness at different parts of the body. All right. So what we do, open your hands 10 times, close them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Your wrist, and see the wrist, rotate them clockwise 5 times, anti-clockwise 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And your hands, put it like this. Up, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Your neck left. Inhale, exhale, right. Inhale, left, exhale, right. Down. Inhale, up, down. Inhale, up. 3 times clockwise rotation. 1, 2, 3. Anti-clockwise 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Remove any tension, any stiffness which is present in the neck or anywhere in the body. Now, shoulders. Your shoulders are stiff. You are writing with these up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shoulder from right, from front to back rotation. Shoulder rotation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can do ankles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. You feel that stretching and stiffness has been removed from different parts of the body, as body needs some activation when we're going to study. Okay. Now, what we do, students? Close your eyes. Inhale from the nose and exhale from the mouth. Deep inhaling. Deep inhale as much as you can. Exhale from the mouth. All right. Sit comfortably. Are your feet should be touching the ground. Feet with the ground, the 2 palms on the table or on your laps. Be comfortable, students. Close your eyes. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Few more such breaths. Keep on inhaling and exhaling. All right, come back and bring your attention to the breathing from the 2 nostrils. Hold your 2 hands and prayer. Thank to the God, thank to the universe for the good life we have, for the good work which we are doing. Rub your 2 hands. The healing and heat energy is produced. Gentle massage your eyes, your forehead, your face, your neck, your head, and smiling, come back. All right. Are you back?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How do you feel, students? You are feeling better?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are back and we can do our work. Main thing is focus and concentration. The mind is under distraction. We want to remove those distractions. There is some tension, there is some stiffness at different parts of the body. And once we are going to work, we want to remove them. We want to activate our entire body physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. We want to be more stable, more positive. And by this way, we will be able to learn. And now we are going to start our session. Get ready, notebooks, pens, different colored pens, pencils, all should be ready because whatever important points are should be noted with important things noted with colors, different colors. Your notes are very important. They will help you and lead to success in the examination. The basic thing is that we have to learn, we have to understand each and everything. And as we use our mind, we use our hands for writing and listening. All this together makes us understand things better, and we can focus and pay attention. Pay attention. The learning is directly proportional to the attention which we pay. If our attention is somewhere else, then we are losing the track. Okay, what we were doing, students, in this topic, very, very important topic, that we are talking that most of the substances which we are dealing are pure or mixtures. First, most of the
Mixtures.
substances, we want to separate them into pure compounds. And we are discussing different methods which are used in chemistry, in science, to separate these components. Once we get the pure components, we can use them, we can study them, we can study their properties, we can study their compositions. Therefore, it is absolutely necessary that we get pure compounds, pure compounds. We have discussed in the last lecture many methods. Can you name the methods which were discussed last time? What methods have been discussed for separation? Fast.
Evaporation, centrifugation.
Okay, when we use evaporation? When we use evaporation, if you have a volatile liquid or a solvent and non-volatile solute, what happens? You can evaporate the solvent. For example, give me example of the evaporation which was used. Example of the evaporation.
Separating dye from ink.
Okay, you can get salt from water, and you have seen non-volatile solute will be left behind. And then what is the next method you have experienced?
Centrifugation.
What is centrifugation? What is the principle of centrifugation, students? What happens when you spin? When you spin the components of the mixture at high speed, what happens? Lighter particles come up, and
Yes, sir.
heavier particles, which are denser particles, they settle down. So what was the application of this?
Separating cream from milk.
Okay, applications are very important. What we use in our everyday life, they will be asked in the paper. Now, if you have kerosene and kerosene oil and water, how will you separate them? The separation of kerosene oil and water, what is the method to separate them, students? How will you separate kerosene oil and water?
We will keep it in a funnel, and then we will try to
Funnel.
separate.
What funnel you are using? Funnel is not the correct answer. It is not the funnel. What we call this as separating funnel. Normal funnel is different. Separating funnel. What happens? The denser liquid and less denser liquid, they will form two separate layers if they are immiscible. Immiscible. How can you separate camphor from ammonium, camphor from sodium chloride mixture?
Sublimation.
Sublimation. Okay, so these are some of the ways by which we are trying to separate the different mixtures into compounds. And now you have seen in the sketch pen black ink, you are using sketch pen black ink. Now the question is this a pure or it has something more in it? Is it a single color or you can separate them?
So what we do, we are going to study that. Is the dye in the black ink a single color? That is our question. What do you think? What looks black is single, or there is a mixture of some other colors in it?
Mixture.
Mixture. Okay. That means if there are more than one type of dyes or more than one colors which are present and are mixed to produce the black, then it should be possible to separate them. How will we separate them? Then we are saying it is not a single color. And we can separate it by a process called chromatography. Chrome means color. So we are talking of very important thing now. Chromatography, students. What is chromatography? What is chrome? Chrome is from colors. That there are different colors. Different color mean there are different substances, different molecules which are present in this ink. One is supposing you have blue, you have red, you have some green, they mix together and they form black color. So how many components are there? How many different colors are there? That is going to be separated by using a technique which is called chromatography. So chromatography is based on concept of separating molecules in a mixture added to the ground or solid and liquid stationary state when traveling with the aid of a mobile phase. What we are trying to say? You have a mixture in the black ink, supposing you have three types of dyes, three different colors of dyes. It is a mixture, we are saying then. And we will try to see that if I fix it at a point on a filter paper and I start the water rising, what will happen? There is a mobile phase which is water, and the water will carry with it different colors, but different colors will be absorbed to different extents because there are different components. Their absorption is amount, extent of absorption is different on the stationary phase, which we are saying could be a type of paper or special chromatographic paper, which will look like a filter paper, which we use special paper, chromatographic paper, and then we will get different colors on that paper, chromatographic paper. So this is chromatography, separating. There are different type of molecules. I mean, there are three different molecules. They have three different colors. They are absorbed to different extents on a stationary state or a stable phase. Stable phase. Note it down. We are going to show it. How will we do it? The process of separation of components of a mixture is known as chromatography. Chroma in Greek means color. This technique was first used for separation of colors. So the name was given chromatography. This is the technique used for separation of those solutes that dissolve in the same solvent. There are solutes which dissolve in the same solvent, then we can do it. What we have done here, student, here is a very nice picture. You can see that this is a paper which is called a chromatographic paper. What is this? Is a chromatographic paper. Chromatographic paper. Okay. It is a strip of chromatographic paper, as you can see. Here is a ink spot, black ink. Put a spot of black ink at this point. Ink spot, black ink. If it is a black, I put it here. This is a water. So put some part of the paper such that it dips in water, little part of that. Not this. Below the spot. Below the spot. Okay. This is below the spot water. This is a water level. This is my water level. Student, it is below this spot. Okay. What will happen? Fix the filter paper. This is the type of jar, student, or any container. Fix it. Now water will start rising. What will happen? Water will start rising. Now there is a spot of ink which has molecules. If it has three types of molecules, what will happen? As the water rises, it will take those molecules along with it. But what you will find, if there were three colors, then they will give three spots at three different heights from this point. And here you can see that what is happening. How many colors you are seeing? This violet color, blue color, I see orange, yellow, like this. As the ink, as this spot, as the water rises, water rises, water rises, what is happening, students? You are getting separation of different colors. Do you see different colors? Tell me, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And what is happening? This is what we call as chrome. Chrome means different colors are being separated. This paper, which I'm calling as chromatographic paper or a special paper, it's like a filter paper, but special paper which is made. This is a stationary phase. This is fixed. On this are moving the molecules with water. With water. Water is a move. Water is going up by osmosis process. By osmosis process, and it is carrying with it these molecules which are present in the black ink. But since it has different colors, different molecules, so their adsorption is different. They are traveling to different heights, and therefore the mixture has been separated into the different colors which were present in the black dye. Clear? And this is what we call as chromatography. This is a chromatography, students. So what you have, the if the black ink is there, and black ink contained, supposing there were three colors present in it, three colors. For example, what you are seeing, blue, yellow, and orange. For example, these three colors means there are three different components, dyes, or three different type of molecules. You are saying three different type of molecules molecules are present, which are, you are saying there are three different colors, three different dyes are present, I can say. One is, you are saying, blue in color, another is yellow, and supposing another is orange. Three dyes are present. So their adsorption is extent of adsorption. I'm saying extent of adsorption is different. Different for different colors. Different for different colors or different dyes. So they will travel different heights. The one which is most strongly adsorbed, will travel the least height. Least height. What is this? I'm using chromatographic paper strip. And on this, you can see the ink is moving up. This ink is rising along with the water. The water is the mobile phase. Water is the mobile phase. So students, what we see, you are able to separate how many colors you see. 1, 2, for example, 3 here. Or if there are more components, more colors will be visible. And this is what we call as chromatography, the process of separation of components of a mixture. First, it was used for separation of colors. Okay? And all these solutes are soluble in water. Therefore, water will carry them. Water will carry them. Or in other words, the one which is more soluble in water goes to a higher height as compared to others. Applications. What are the applications of chromatography? They will ask you in the paper. You can separate colors in dye, pigments from natural colors, drugs from the blood. Inside your bloods, if there are drug, students, we can separate them by using chromatography. note down everything. These are important points. Okay. So you can separate colors in dyes, pigments from natural colors, drugs from the blood. Drugs from the blood. All right, students. Next is, how can we separate a mixture of two miscible liquids? What are miscible liquids, students? Miscible liquids. Can you tell me what are miscible liquids?
Liquids which mix with each other.
Which can dissolve in one another. Earlier, we were kerosene oil is immiscible in water. And to separate them, what you did? Used a separating funnel. Now you put alcohol in water and you say alcohol dissolves in water. There is only one layer. There are no two layers. How will you separate them? You put acetone in water, you find the two liquids are miscible. How will you separate them? So what we are saying, student, if I have miscible liquids, I'm saying if I have ethanol is an alcohol plus water, they are miscible. And you are saying, okay, acetone plus water, they are miscible. How will you separate them then? Because they do not form different layers. Such liquids can be separated by a process called distillation, students. What I'm talking is distillation. Why? Because the boiling points of the two components are different. Boiling points of the two liquids are different. And the difference in boiling point is more than difference in boiling point, students, is more than 25 degrees centigrade. Since it is a difference or 25 Kelvin scale is also used. So we can use the difference in boiling points to separate them. Can you tell me, student, what is the boiling point? What do you mean by boiling point, students?
The temperature at which the liquid starts boiling at atmospheric pressure.
At atmospheric pressure. When the liquid will start boiling, what will happen? What will happen, students? If liquid starts boiling, what will happen to the liquid? It will become vapors, gas.
Yes, sir.
Will the temperature rise at that point? At the boiling point, temperature becomes constant and the liquid starts boiling.
Yes, sir.
The vapors will be formed. Now, there are two liquids, one which has a higher boiling point and other which has a lower boiling point. Okay? So which will come first? Lower boiling point will boil first. It will form vapors and higher boiling point is still inside. When it will form vapors, it will come up. And supposing this, what is this? This is a formation of the vapor. Boiling temperature will become constant at that point. And once the vapors are formed, we can cool these vapors. We can condense these vapors to reform the liquid. Okay? So it is involving two things, evaporation and condensation. The liquid is boiled, it forms vapors, and then it will be cooled. When it will be cooled, it will form the liquid. And that is the process which we call as distillation, students. So by using distillation, I can separate the two mixtures whose boiling points are different, more than 25 degrees centigrade difference. Then I can apply the distillation. For example, acetone has a boiling point of 56 degrees Celsius and water has a boiling point of 100 degrees Celsius. Therefore, the two can be separated. Tell me, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What will happen when I start boiling? Which liquid will boil first?
Acetone.
Because it has a lower boiling point. The difference is more than 25 degree. And then we can form liquids back from it by condensation, and water will remain behind. And at 100 degrees Celsius, water will come. This is the method which is used in distillation. Let us see what we are saying, students. Here is an experiment in the lab which we are doing. Separation of two miscible liquids. What we are doing? Separation of acetone and water mixture. By the process of distillation. Students, let us try acetone and water. Take the mixture in a distillation flask. You can see, student, here is a picture. What this picture shows to us, students? You can see that distillation flask. Where is the distillation? This flask which you see. What is this called? Distillation flask. It is made up of a glass, special glass. It won't break on heating with. Fit in with a thermometer. Is a thermometer. Heat the mixture slowly, keeping a close watch at the thermometer. Acetone vaporizes. Acetone has a lower boiling point, you said. What is the boiling point of acetone?
56 degrees Celsius.
Okay, 56 degrees Celsius. What will happen when the temperature will show 56 degrees Celsius? Acetone will start boiling and will form vapors. Where will these vapors go? As you can see, there's a tube in this tube. And here is a condenser. What it does, it will cool the vapors, cool the vapor. You can see water is coming from here, water is going out. It is cooling the vapors. The acetone vaporizes, condenses in the condenser. This is a condenser, students, in which water in, water out, water in, water out. It will cool these vapors, and when the vapors will be cooled, they will form the liquid. And what will happen in this beaker? You will get acetone. Will the temperature rise at 56 degrees Celsius?
No, sir.
Till all the acetone is evaporated. Because
Yes,
what is the boiling point of water?
100
100 degrees Celsius. So we will collect acetone. This process is called distillation. Very important, very important. Now he says ki you have done this experiment or activity. Try to answer this. What do you observe as you start heating the mixture? What do you observe when you start heating the mixture? Tell me, what will you observe? You have thermometer, everything is there.
Acetone evaporates faster than water.
When you start heating, he says you will see the temperature will rise, and at 56 degrees Celsius, the vaporization of acetone will start. Okay? At what temperature does thermometer reading become constant? What temperature?
56 degrees Celsius.
At the boiling point of acetone. If I don't know the boiling point of, then I will say boiling point of acetone. Okay? Which you are saying is 56 degrees Celsius. What is the boiling point of acetone? Okay. Why do the two components separate? Tell me why the two components separate here. What is the reason of the separation of two components, students?
Because of distillation.
Distillation is a technique which we are using for separation. But the principle of distillation is difference in boiling points. Because the boiling points of two liquids are different. More than 25 degrees Celsius difference is there. And under those conditions, we use the distillation. So what we are saying, why do the two components separate? Because the two components have different
Boiling.
boiling points. And therefore, the one with the lower boiling point will boil first, and then that is distilled first. That is distilled first. By this way, we separate. If I have alcohol and water, we can also separate the two by the process of distillation. If the boiling point difference is more than 25 degrees centigrade, we can do it. But if you have mixture of liquids whose boiling point is less than 25 degrees centigrade, then what will happen? Then it will be difficult. It will not be possible to separate because their boiling point difference is very small. Both will start forming vapors. So we have to improve. We have to improve the distillation process. We have to modify the distillation process for those liquids whose difference in boiling point is less than 25 degrees Celsius. So what will we do in those cases, students? What we use another method, the same as distillation, but we will modify the distillation. All right, that's what we are saying. What we are doing. Dekho, to separate a mixture of two or more miscible liquid for which difference in boiling point is less than 25 K or 25 degrees. And what we use is fractional distillation process. Fractional distillation process. You can see that there was a distillation. You have seen the diagram here. Only thing is I have attached a separating another column. You have seen a column. We have attached a additional column here. This long tube, you can see that. So for example, if want separation of gases from air, air is a mixture of gases. What is air? Mixture of gases. What are the gases in the air? For example, you are seeing oxygen gas, nitrogen gas, you have supposing argon gas. If you condense them, what will happen? They will form liquids. You know, liquid oxygen is being used for transportation of oxygen gas from one place to another during the corona pandemic. So you have liquid. So you have three liquids. If you want to separate them, their boiling point difference is very small. Therefore, what we will use, you have liquid oxygen, you have liquid nitrogen, you have liquid argon. The three can be separated by the technique which we are saying, fractional distillation. ठीक है? Also, petroleum products. What is a petroleum? Whatever petroleum you are using in your vehicles, it is a mixture of hydrocarbons. It is a mixture of hydrocarbons. You have liquid hydrocarbons in this. They can be also separated. Their boiling point difference is less. So what we use, fractional distillation, and there is a fractionating column which is added to the distillation apparatus. What we do, fractionating column. So we are improving, we are modifying the distillation by adding a column. What column I am adding? Fractionating column, as you can see here. Distillation flask, student, same, but you can see here, you see this long tube. What is this called? Fractionating column. What will it do, student? What will be the function of this fractionating column? Can you tell me something about this? What it will do? You can see there are some glass beads which are there in this fractionating column. fractionating column, students, and as the mixture will boil, the lower boiling fraction and the two which has a higher boiling, they are almost difference is less. But as they will come, there will be a recondensation. The one, the liquid which has a lower boiling point, that will have a higher concentration when it goes up. The other will recondense and bounce back. It will bounce back. So what happens whenever we will attach such fractionating columns, then the liquid which has a lower boiling point, that fraction will go higher with higher concentration above this column. The one which has a higher boiling point, that will recondense. It will go, but it will recondense by these beads and come back. So this process continues, and this helps in separating those mixtures whose boiling point is less than 25 K. Where it is used? Liquids, mixtures, liquids which have boiling point range less than 25 K. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So then it is possible to separate the liquids. So how will you separate the fractions of petroleum then, students? Petrol is a mixture of hydrocarbons. They are liquids. Can you do by distillation? Can I use distillation for separation of petroleum products? Answer is no. Then what I use? Additional column is added to the distillation apparatus.
Fractional distillation.
This is called fractionating column, and that is fractional distillation. How do we get different components of the air? By also applying fractional distillation. You know, there are plants which have been put up in some hospitals for the production of oxygen. You are aware of that? They have got some machines now which are preparing oxygen to be used for the patients. So how we are getting it? You have seen that we can apply this method. Liquefy the air and then use fractional distillation for the separation of oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can draw the diagram. Important. This is the water in, cold water out. This is where the vapors will go, and the vapors condense here. Then you get pure liquid component. Pure liquid component. This is called condenser. Question is, what are the advantages of fractionating column? What are the advantages? The purity of the mixture is the main advantage of fractional distillation. This method can separate the liquids with boiling point difference less than 25 K. During the process, both evaporation and condensation takes place simultaneously. A mixture such as petroleum containing several components can also be separated by fractional distillation. Therefore, it's a good technique. If you have liquids which are miscible and their boiling point difference is less, what will you use? Fractional distillation. And is very largely used. It is very largely used. Students, note down all the points because any point can become a question in the exam. Students, note down. Can I proceed further, students?
Yes, sir.
Everything is clear?
Yes, sir.
How can we obtain different gases from air? This is a very important question for the paper. What is air, students? You are inhaling air right now. We have done some breathing exercises. You know, air is a mixture of gases. So how will we obtain different gases from air? What are the gases which are present in the air? Supposing you are saying you have oxygen gas, you have nitrogen gas, you have argon gas. There are few more gases may be there. Now we want to separate them. How when we obtain them? ठीक है? This is a homogeneous mixture. Air is a homogeneous mixture of gases, students. ठीक है? And air is compressed by increasing pressure. How will you convert air gas to air liquid? These are gases. How will you convert them into liquids?
Increasing pressure and decreasing temperature.
This air is a mixture of gases. You are getting air liquid, you are saying. Increase the pressure, then cool by decreasing the temperature to get liquid air. That is the first thing you want, liquid air. But you are getting liquid air. The liquid air is allowed to warm up slowly in fractional distillation column where gases get separated at different heights depending upon their boiling points. Now you have three components. Their boiling points are different. Okay? What will happen? The liquid air is allowed to warm up slowly in fractional where gases get separated upon boiling. So when you will heat them in fractionating column, what we call as fractional distillation. So they will get separated. They will get separated by using the technique which we call as fractional distillation. Let us see how will we do it. Here is a flow chart of this. Flow chart of this important given in your book also. Air is homogeneous mixture and can be separated into component by fractional distillation. The flow diagram shows the steps. Air, this is our gas. Compress and cool by increasing pressure and decreasing the temperature. What you have done? Increased pressure. And decreased temperature. Here is a gas. If I increase the pressure, it will get compressed. And if I cool the temperature, is getting lower, lower and lower. Then what will you get? You will, from air gas, you will get liquid air. This is called liquid air. And this is air gas. What will you do then? Allow to warm up slowly in fractionating column. Gases get separated at different heights. When you start heating them, what will happen, students? The liquid which will be first to boil will be what? Whose boiling point is maximum or minimum? Tell me.
Minimum.
The lowest boiling liquid will come first. For example, you have oxygen, you have argon and nitrogen. Boiling point of oxygen is minus 183 degrees Celsius. Argon is minus 186. Nitrogen is minus 196. They are degrees Celsius. Degree Celsius. The temperatures are minus. So which is the lowest boiling point out of the three? Tell me. Which is the lowest?
Oxygen.
Oxygen is the lowest boiling point. Oxygen is the lowest. When you will start heating, first it will be how much? 100 centigrade, then 100 centigrade to 0 to minus 183. Huh? First minus 0 to minus 1, minus 5, minus 6. First it will, the lowest minus 183. Then minus 184, 185. When you cool it, when you heat it, you are heating, the temperature is rising. Temperature is rising. If you have minus 200 degrees Celsius and if I start heating it, what will happen? The temperature will go to first. Which temperature will come? Minus 200. Say. Tell me. Minus 199,
199.
minus 198, minus 197, minus 196 will come first. So which liquid is coming the first?
Nitrogen.
Which is going to boil the first? You can see that these are the negative values of the compound gases which we have given. So because of difference in boiling points, they will get separated students. They will get separated. And we will see which liquid will come the first. That is important point. So so all other gases have to be removed if you want oxygen. You want oxygen, then you have to remove this. You have to remove this from the air. Okay? The air is compressed, increasing pressure, cooled, and then allowed to warm up in fractionating column, and gases get separated at different heights depending upon their boiling points. They will get separated depending on their boiling points. Note down these temperatures, the table which is given in the book. Note down these values. Arrange the gases present in air in increasing order of their boiling points. Increasing order of boiling point, students. Tell me, what is the order? Which has the highest boiling point? Which has the highest boiling point here? These values are given.
Oxygen.
Oxygen. After that, argon, and then nitrogen. Which gas form liquid first as air is cooled? Air is cooled. ये air है, gas. तो you are decreasing the temperature. तो सबसे पहले कौन सा आएगा? Which will form the liquid first?
Oxygen.
ऑक्सीजन, क्योंकि आप टेम्परेचर घटा रहे हैं, तो सबसे पहले कौन सा टेम्परेचर आने वाला है? -183, फिर क्या आएगा? -184, इस तरह से जाएगा -186, और उसके बाद फिर -196. तो विच गैस फ्रॉम द लिक्विड फर्स्ट? व्हाट इज अवर आंसर? ऑक्सीजन गैस फॉर्म्स liquid first because it has the highest boiling point. Next कौन सा आएगा? ऑक्सीजन के
Argon.
next will be argon, and last will be
Nitrogen.
nitrogen gas. इसका boiling point lowest है. Therefore, the three can be separated by a process which we call as, what is the name of the process? Fractional distillation. This is the apparatus, student. This is the there. It has been given in your NCERT book how this process is done. Separation of components of air. This is important. Recently, you were in great demand of the oxygen, and air has oxygen if we can get it from air. But you have seen it requires what apparatus is required first to cool it, increase the pressure, lower the temperature, then use the fractionating column, fractional distillation, which is not easy. I mean, if it was so easy, then what will be the problem? Why there should be shortage of oxygen? See how costly it was being sold. So they have put up plants to obtain oxygen now. What is done? There is a filter. This is air. Air is compressed under pressure. You can see air under pressure. Okay? Why do you filter? Because there are so many other things in the air. You don't want those particles to be there. This is a hot air, student, because it is compressed. When it is compressed, it is hot air. Hot air is going, and this is being cooled air. You can see water, freezing cold water. This is a freezing cold water in, out, in, out. There are pipes, students, which are carrying the freezing cold water in, out. This what it will do? Tell me what it will do.
Decrease temperature.
Yeah, it will cool the air. Mental liquefaction. Cold compressed air. Now this is cold compressed air. This was hot air. It will become cold compressed air. It is going. And there is a separator. If there is a carbon dioxide, that will be coming out as dry ice. Dry ice. Carbon dioxide is not required, so that is separated at this point. Separator. You have seen this is a separator. What is that? Dry ice. What is dry ice? You know, solid carbon dioxide. Dry ice. Solid carbon dioxide, you know, when carbon dioxide is compressed at high pressure. Then this cold compressed air is going, this is a liquid air. And here there is a jet, expansion jet. Nitrogen out, argon out. Fractional distillation. This is now fractional distillation going on. What is happening? Fractional distillation, complete details have not been given. They are not required for our course. But we have given you the basis of the fractional distillation, where it is used, under what conditions fractional distillation is used. When the pressure, when the temperature difference is very less, then we use fractional distillation. And then here, what you are getting, liquid oxygen, collected liquid oxygen. And you have seen oxygen tanks, oxygen cylinders. They are compressed oxygen is converted into liquid oxygen, and then it helps. We can transport it from one place to another. So this is important point, student, that the demand of oxygen has been, and how air, we can get oxygen from air. This requires a proper procedure. Whatever is in our course, we are doing it, but we are not discussing full details of it. But an outline has been provided to you. Clear? All
Yes,
right.
sir.
We will, this ends up the topic here, because then we have a next topic, which will be again a long topic. We will continue more about this in our next class. So here we have told you important things: distillation, fractional distillation, and application of fractional distillation in separating different gases from the air and getting oxygen from the air is possible by using the separation of components of air flow chart. Because of the difference in boiling points, we will be able to separate them. Okay, then I will meet you in the next class. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.